Brian, why do you smell like a terrible campfire this morning?
I had a massive cooking disaster in my apartment last night.
A cooking disaster? What exactly were you trying to make in there?
I was just trying to cook a simple and healthy dinner.
But your clothes completely reek of dark, heavy smoke right now.
That is because my apartment smoke alarm was screaming for 20 minutes.
Oh my goodness! Did you actually start a real fire in your kitchen?
There was no real fire, but there was a huge cloud of black smoke.
So you completely burnt your healthy dinner until it was black coal?
Yes, the food was absolutely not edible in any way at all.
Edible means food that is safe and good enough for people to eat.
Well, my dinner was only edible if you have teeth made of solid steel.
You are officially the most terrible cook I have ever met in my life.
I know I'm a terrible cook, but I was really trying my best.
What exactly gave you the crazy inspiration to start cooking your own meals?
I was watching those amazing MasterChef cooking videos on the internet yesterday.
You watched professional chefs and thought you could do the exact same thing?
Yes, I wanted to create a beautiful culinary masterpiece in my own kitchen.
A masterpiece is a perfect piece of art, not a burnt piece of meat.
I also wanted to save some money instead of eating at expensive restaurants.
Cooking at home is definitely a great way to save your hard-earned money.
It is only cheaper if you do not destroy all of the expensive ingredients.
That is a very valid point about wasting good and expensive food.
The professional chef in the video made everything look so incredibly easy and simple.
Professional chefs have years of intense training and experience behind them, Brian.
I thought my natural talent and pure inspiration would be enough to succeed.
Your natural talent clearly belongs in the dining room, not in the kitchen.
I think you are absolutely right about my lack of natural kitchen skills.
So how exactly did you follow the complicated recipe for this healthy dinner?
That is the main problem, Sarah. I did not really understand the recipe.
A recipe is just a simple list of instructions and ingredients for cooking.
The list of ingredients was incredibly long and full of strange cooking words.
Did you carefully follow all of the exact measurements in the cooking instructions?
I tried to follow them, but the confusing measurements made my brain hurt.
What is so confusing about measuring a simple cup of flour or sugar?
The recipe asked for a small teaspoon of salt for the meat.
A teaspoon is a very small spoon used for stirring coffee or tea.
I couldn't find a teaspoon, so I used a massive coffee cup instead.
You put an entire coffee cup of solid salt into your healthy dinner.
I thought a little extra flavor would make the meat taste much better.
The recipe probably asked for a small pinch of black pepper, right?
Yes, but my pinch was more like a giant handful of spicy pepper.
A pinch means picking up a tiny amount using just your 2 fingers.
Now I finally understand why my eyes were watering before the smoke even started.
So, after you ruined the ingredients, what kind of kitchen tools did you use?
I searched through all of my messy kitchen cabinets for something to cook with.
Did you grab a nice, large frying pan to cook your expensive meat in?
I am not completely sure what the difference is between a frying pan and a pot.
A frying pan is wide and flat, perfect for frying eggs or cooking meat.
Well, I grabbed a very deep saucepan that is usually used for boiling soup.
That is the completely wrong kitchen tool for frying a piece of solid meat.
I realized that when I tried to flip the meat over with a giant spoon.
You're supposed to use a flat plastic or metal spatula to flip food easily.
A spatula would have been much better than the giant wooden soup spoon I used.
Using the correct tools is the very first lesson of being a good professional chef.
Next time, I would just use my bare hands to flip the burning food.
Please do not burn your hands, Brian. Just tell me about the vegetable preparation.
The vegetable preparation was the most painful and emotional experience of my entire life.
What could possibly be so emotional about preparing vegetables for a simple, healthy dinner?
I had to peel and chop 3 massive white onions for the special recipe.
Chopping raw onions is famous for making even the toughest professional chefs cry.
I was crying so much that my tears were literally falling into the cooking pot.
When you slice into an onion, it releases a chemical gas that irritates your eyes.
That chemical gas is a terrible weapon of mass destruction in my small kitchen.
Did you chop the onions into small, even pieces like the recipe instructed you to?
I could not see anything through my tears, so I just chopped them blindly.
Chopping vegetables while you are completely blind is an incredibly dangerous thing to do.
I am just very lucky that I did not accidentally slice my own fingers off.
So you somehow survived the onion chopping, but then you had to use the hot stove.
Turning on the stove was exactly when the real cooking disaster finally started happening.
Did you turn the fire up way too high when you started cooking the meat?
I turned the temperature dial all the way up to the maximum heat possible immediately.
You're supposed to let the food gently simmer on a low or medium heat.
To simmer means to cook something slowly and gently, just below the boiling point.
Yes, but you probably decided to boil and fry everything at the exact same time.
I threw the wet meat into the extremely hot oil and it exploded everywhere.
That is called splattering, when hot oil aggressively jumps out of the cooking pan.
The heavy smoke alarm started screaming and my healthy dinner was officially completely ruined.
So, after the smoke alarm stopped, did you actually try to eat the food?
I was very hungry and foolishly decided to take a small bite of the meat.
You bravely tasted a piece of meat that looked exactly like a piece of black coal.
I was hoping the inside was still perfectly cooked and incredibly delicious for dinner.
And how exactly did your culinary masterpiece taste when you finally chewed it?
It was completely disgusting and tasted absolutely nothing like real food for humans.
Was it incredibly salty because of the entire coffee cup of salt you added?
It was so incredibly salty that my tongue immediately felt completely dry and terrible.
The texture of the meat was probably extremely tough and very chewy to eat, too.
To say it was chewy is a very huge understatement for this awful rubber meat.
Chewy means food that needs to be chewed a lot before you can swallow it.
I chewed that terrible meat for 5 whole minutes before I gave up completely.
After that disgusting taste test, did you look around at your destroyed kitchen?
I turned around and saw the biggest mess I've ever made in my entire life.
Cooking a complicated recipe always makes a huge mess with tools and ingredients everywhere.
There was a massive pile of dirty dishes completely covering my kitchen sink and counters.
A large pile of dishes means you have a giant mountain of plates to clean up.
There were greasy spoons, dirty cutting boards, and sticky plates absolutely everywhere I looked.
Did you at least try to scrub the burnt food out of the saucepan?
To scrub something means to rub it very hard to clean the dirt away.
Yes, and burnt pans require a lot of difficult scrubbing with hot soapy water.
I scrubbed that stupid pan for 10 minutes, but the black marks stayed there forever.
You probably ruined the pan completely when you burned the meat at maximum heat.
The greasy floors and dirty walls will probably take me an entire week to scrub.
Did you finally realize that cooking a complicated dinner was a terrible idea for you?
I stared at the burnt meat and the dirty kitchen, and I completely gave up.
Giving up means you stopped trying to do something because it was way too difficult.
I threw the entire rubbery dinner directly into the trash can without any regrets.
Throwing away completely burnt food is definitely the safest choice for your stomach and health.
I also strongly considered throwing the ruined saucepan into the garbage can with the meat.
You ruined a perfectly good pan just because you watched a professional chef on video.
The chef lied to me by making cooking look like a very relaxing and fun activity.
Next time, you should probably start by learning how to boil a simple egg safely.
Boiling an egg still involves hot water, which sounds incredibly dangerous for my current skills.
You really need to accept that you are an absolute danger in a normal kitchen.
I accept my total failure, but my stomach was still completely empty and screaming loudly.
So your stomach was completely empty and you had a destroyed kitchen.
I immediately grabbed my smartphone to find the absolute best solution for my extreme hunger.
Let me guess, you opened a food delivery application to order some delicious takeout.
Yes, ordering takeout is the only way I can survive the rest of the night.
To order takeout means buying cooked food from a restaurant to eat somewhere else.
It is the greatest modern invention for people who are starving and terrible at cooking.
When you are starving, it means you are feeling incredibly hungry and need food immediately.
I was absolutely starving after fighting with that burning hot oil and crying over onions.
Using a delivery app makes getting hot food directly to your door so incredibly easy.
I scrolled through hundreds of amazing restaurant options without lifting a single heavy cooking tool.
Did you have to wait a very long time for your delicious takeout food to arrive?
I had to track my delivery driver on the live map for 30 long minutes.
To track means to follow the exact location and progress of something on a digital map.
I watched his little car icon moving slowly down the dark street towards my apartment building.
Did you have to pay a very expensive delivery fee for bringing the food directly to you?
The delivery fee was a little expensive, but it was completely worth the money for me.
A delivery fee is the extra money you pay the company for the transport service.
I also made sure to give the delivery driver a very generous and big tip.
To tip means giving extra money to service workers to thank them for their hard work.
He saved my life on a freezing cold night, so he definitely deserved a great tip.
So, what kind of delicious takeout finally arrived to save your very empty stomach?
I ordered a massive, extra-large pepperoni pizza with a lot of extra melting hot cheese.
Of course you ordered pizza. It is the absolute classic comfort food for a cooking disaster.
It was easily the most beautiful and delicious thing I have ever tasted in my entire life.
Did you manage to eat the entire extra-large pizza by yourself in one single night?
I ate exactly half of it, and I saved the rest of it for my tomorrow's leftovers.
Leftovers are the remaining unconsumed food that you save to eat at a much later time.
Eating cold pizza leftovers for breakfast is honestly one of my favorite things in the world.
Did you finally learn a valuable lesson from this terrible and messy kitchen experience tonight?
My lesson learned is that I will strictly stick to ordering takeout from now on.
To stick to means to continue doing one specific thing and not changing your original plan.
I solemnly promise to never try cooking a complicated, healthy dinner ever again in my life.
Well, at least we learned some fantastic English vocabulary from your massive cooking disaster today.
We learned about smoke alarms, terrible cooks, complicated recipes, and measuring cups of white salt.
We also talked about frying pans, chopping onions, splattering hot oil, and incredibly chewy meat.
And do not forget the most important words, giving up, ordering takeout, and very generous tips.
I think you should just stick to making simple sandwiches and let the professionals handle the hot stoves.
If you're committed to making this 15-minute plan a part of your life, show your energy by smashing that like button. Be a hero for a friend by sharing this video with someone you know is too busy to study. And to lock in your commitment to this challenge, subscribe and smash that notification bell.